If you take the police, the majority are from the police here. I was grown up with the other policemen's families at Anderson flats. In Sinhalese, people used to say, Kaldiram battamai kalati. My father is a policeman, so I have been eating the food from the police mess. Most probably, I believe. So my blood is with them as well. Police is going to celebrate 150 years in this country. Army going to celebrate 67 years in this October. Navy and Air Force going to celebrate 66 years in our history. Out of 67 years, I have been serving for 35 years. Little more than the half. So I am responsible for many things in this country. And you gentlemen who are sitting here today, your age as of today is going with the history of these services, whether it is police, the army, navy or the air force. If somebody writes the history of this country in terms of security forces, you all have been a part of that from the day one, whether it is after the independence or even prior. So I am standing here to give my gratitude to all of you who have served and done their part for us to be a part of that great organization, the services or the military. During your period, the combat would have been different. But I am sure that all of you all have been part of internal security. You have been, some of them would have been taken part in internal security operations, maybe during the insurrection periods, maybe in Harthal periods in 50s. You all have done your part and you all have paved way for us to be in the army and come here. Unfortunately, last 30 years of bloody war, the combat they fought in the north and east, which was never the interest of the army, it was basically for the political interest of the people, or some group of people. They distanced us. We could not meet you all. Definitely, that's a big mistake. So I feel the time has come, with the peace that we have achieved after eradicating the terrorism in this country, it's time for us to be with you all, to call you all, talk to you all, look after you all, look after your welfare and whatever the needs and requirements of yours, your family and even the grandchildren. Unfortunately, you all could not enjoy the retirement in my terms because of the war. Your children could not enjoy the peace what we are experiencing today. I feel we should continue with the fragile peace to a solid standing peace forever. So that is why I wanted to speak to you all and be with you all. Please take this opportunity to understand what the Sri Lankan military is doing here today. We fought to bring the peace. We brought it and we are a victorious army, victorious navy, victorious air force and victorious police service. Somebody might be trying again to drive us back or grab us to different agendas. But we should not get carried away with those ideas and leadership that the people are going to use it. We are here to assist the public and the people who have suffered for 30 years, our brothers and sisters of North and East. You all have worked during the war or maybe during the essential services. As you all know, it's part of our responsibility. My responsibility as the Security Force Commander today is to ensure the peace prevails and no war for maybe 1,000 years to come, or maybe for next Atmas to come, no war in this country. Then to assist the civil administration to take over the total control of the administration in this peninsula and north and east and continue as other parts of the country where others are enjoying. When my main effort today is for reconciliation. That's why we are here today. So I am doing my level best to ensure that reconciliation is understood and we do it to the book or the word or the paragraph or the sentence to ensure that we are here for the peace and the reconciliation. In this endeavor, I have a part to do, and I believe you as our senior citizens and our senior officers and soldiers of our Army, Navy and the Air Force and the police has a part to do. I humbly request for you to understand what the armed forces are doing today here. We are the closest relation, closest friend of all of you all and the public in the peninsula. We are expecting, in person, expecting you all to understand and explain to your community what the Army is, what the Sri Lanka Navy is, what the Air Force is, what the police is and why we are here. It is not against any community. It is to ensure that the peace that we fought after 30 years to be maintained. In that context, I am requesting, humbly requesting, kindly requesting you all to understand, then cooperate with my officers and men who are in battalions, detachments, company bases and headquarters in the peninsula. Give some guidelines, give your request, teach us what your culture, what you need, what your people need. There is a cultural gap, there is a generation gap. There had been many gaps among us. High time that we get closer and make these gaps. There are no gaps in time to come, to understand each other and go forward. You would have been taking leadership in your community in terms of temples, the churches, but unfortunately during the past years most of you all did not want to say that you were in the military. Maybe, I'm not sure. But in the south, we are proud to say that I'm ex-army, ex-navy, ex-air force, ex-police. But the circumstances were such during last 30 years that you could not come out from the cell and make the public understand you were the guardians of this country. You did your part for the nation. Very unfortunate. Today, I believe people do understand what the service can do. This is the only organization who has the capacity and the resources to do anything in Jaffna. No other organization like the military here. Whether we are moving out or going to continue, whether we are going to shrink or we are going to expand is a different ball game altogether. But the understanding is that please be with us, cooperate with us, educate us, guide my men who are maybe younger to your grandchildren, who have not seen Jaffna before. They have seen only the combat. They should be taught and guided in terms of culture and the values of Tamils here, values of the Christianity, values of the Hindu, all are same. So that has to be, please carry away from here when you are leaving today, that assistance I request from you all, guiding us as the seniors. With respectfully, I am making this request. From our side, today the first time I am going to speak to you. I have been here for 4 months. As I said before, I have put up 35 years in the army, and then 1.5 years to serve. I have been in Varani as the division commander. I have been in Varani as the Colonel GS, and I was number 2 to General Chandrasiri, the former governor later on. I have done my service in Jaffna. But unfortunately, my assignment was such that there was no need for me to learn the language, because I am from Special Forces. Basically, I am an engineer officer. I don't know whether any engineers here, sappers, anybody? Thank you, sir. I'm very happy that I'm seeing an old boy from our own clan of engineers. You are from Achueli, sir? Yes, now I know. I heard Dharmaringam. Right. Football player. I heard about him, so it's very great that I'm seeing him for the first time, definitely. So we need the leadership that you take in your small communities, whether it is the church or the temple. And request the army, the closest army, or me in direct, will come and assist you to get your covils done. Whatever the assistance the military can do, we are ready. As a brother, as an elder brother, uncle, we would like to come and work with you all. Then I have taken initiative. I have noticed that Ranayuru Seva Adhikariya, there will be long discussions on this particular matter in time to come. The Ranayuru Seva Adhikari has introduced a small piece of card which gives you some benefits. For basically it is given to the soldiers who are killed in action, their families, the wounded in action, then secondly to the people who are serving. The last category of the retirement. So I have discussed with my officers, the greatest staff of the army is here. Then we came out with a plan and a proposal to the army headquarters and the Ranayuru Seva Adhikariya that why not you start from Jaffna and get these benefits to the people who have retired first. Everybody look after the killed in action families. Everybody look after wounded in action families. The people who are still serving have the muscle to fight, the strength to fight, but it's time that you should be recognized, given that privilege, whatever the way we give. I have my doctors. We are here. I know that you all are used to go to the other hospitals in the city, but why not? Even to cherish your memories of your days, come to our camps, meet us and meet the doctor and at least check your pressure. That will, I believe, will make 100% sure you'll be more younger. I will not speak more longer than this. I believe my message is clear. So I believe today meeting us, the third generation of yours or second generation of yours, would have been an opportunity for you to become more younger and be with us. I finally quote what MacArthur said when he was removing his uniform. General MacArthur, whom you will have definitely heard about, he said, "All soldiers never die, they just fade away." I am also going to retire next year, so before that I must tell this. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much for the inspiring speech and the words that you have spoken among us.
බෙහෙවින්ම ස්තුතියි